Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. I'm so glad you're here. What do we got going on? Well, the markets are trying to push higher. We had that little downdraft and now we're trying to push higher. Now, I want to let you know I did take my short position off in the Qs. My short position, I took it off yesterday, made a 1% profit. Woohoo! Not exactly the trade I had in mind. It almost took a month to make 1%. I had some mining stocks that they moved 20%, 30% in the same time frame, right? Okay. So anyways, I took that off, but I'm not going long the market. I'm looking to get back in at a short position at a higher level. We're coming into, well, we got earnings going, right? We got Nvidia coming out today. I believe it's today. And there could move the market one way or the other, right? Could good earnings, they should push the Nasdaq up. Bad, they should push it down. But we're coming into the time of year, Thanksgiving, between Thanksgiving and the first of the year, which is kind of an upward trending time in the marketplace. So I didn't really want to hold the short position through that. I'm hoping I can get short at a higher level, but if Nvidia comes out with bad earnings, I'll be buying back in at a lower level. We'll see how that plays out, but it's just the time of year where you're kind of drifting up in the market and there's not a whole lot of activity going on. Now, I own a lot of the miners. I do love the miners here. They're very cheap. They got a couple good days, but they're still relatively cheap. The mining stocks are very good buy right here. In my opinion, you do whatever you want to do, but that's what I'm holding on to. I do want to get back in on a short position for the NASDAQ. I think the NASDAQ is in a lot of trouble. Maybe it can get one more push higher. We'll see how that plays out. Okay, today I want to talk a little bit. Well, I want to talk about, people my age and what they should tell people that are much younger. I wish someone told me this when I was 20 years old, but nobody told me it, so I didn't learn it till later in life. But it's what they're doing to you, and they're trying not to let you notice what's really going on. Okay, what am I talking about, right? Well, at my age, I'm 65, okay, so a lot of people have retired now. A lot of my friends have retired, and they started taking Social Security, which is good. I wasn't sure Social Security would still be around at this age, but it's still here. We can still get it for a little while. Social Security is broke. You see, now Social Security, what they do, well, when they invent Social Security, the average lifespan was 65, right? So you get it at 62, you collect 3 years and you're gone. You check out, right? But now that lifespan has gone to 80, even above 80. I think it's 82 years or something. So you start taking at 62, you got 20-year run, right? Okay, so that's not really, the Social Security system is not solvent. You see, what the government decided was that people, when they got to be age 65, they were flat broke. So the government said, hey, why don't you give us your money along the way? We'll take it out of your paycheck, and then we'll give it to you when you're 65. Now, what the government did, you see, they thought you'd be investing it really poorly, but what the government didn't tell you was that they were going to take all the money and spend it, right? So they don't have the money. Don't get me wrong. They're going to print the money, and you're going to get your money back. But when Social Security was first came out, right, there was like 18 people working for every one person that was collecting. So you had 18 people working, one person collecting. Now today, it's less than 3 people working for every one person collecting. So we have a problem going on. There's more money being paid out than coming in, and Social Security is going to be flat broke within a few years, and they're going to have to print the money to replenish the fund that they stole from us, right? They basically stole our money. I can't think of a better word for it, but they're going to, don't get me wrong, you're going to get your money, they're going to print it. Now, here's what I want to talk about though. Okay, so my friends, let's say they get their Social Security now. Let's say 3,000, 4,000. I'm not sure exactly. It depends on how much you paid in, but let's just use the number $4,000, right? So they're retired. They're getting this $4,000 and they're, comfortable in their later years of life, right? $4,000. Now, here's what I'm afraid is going to happen. Well, here's what I know is going to happen. That $4,000 10 years from now let's say they're 65 and let's say they live to be 85. Now, when they're 65 now, that $4,000 looks great, but 10 years from now, they're going to be 75. And that $4,000 is going to turn into $400,000. $400 of purchasing power, right? So they're doing okay right now. They're comfortable, but when it goes from 4,000 to 400, what happens? Well, they can't really live. They can't have a quality of life that they thought they could have, that they thought they planned for. And this is going to happen to them. You have to take measures to protect yourself. Now, what am I talking? Is the government going to make the payments 10 times smaller? No, that's not what I'm talking about. Okay, let me explain some of this. And I wish they told me this when I was younger. When I was younger, I'd go out and I'd work, and I was good. I saved money, right? I like to save money because I like money and I like to have some extra laying around. And so I'd save it either in cash or in the bank, and the bank paid me a little bit for it. But here's the thing. You see, inflation was just wiping out the money every year. I didn't know it. Inflation is that quiet tax. You don't have to send it in. They just take it from you. It's the way they confiscate money from me and you. For example, this here is a gold eagle, right? A gold eagle, okay? Most common gold coin in the United States, printed by the U.S. Mint, right? Now, 20 years ago, I could buy these for $280. $280, 20 years ago. Now, move 20 years forward, I'm paying $2,800. Just paid $2,800 for this, right? Okay, now here's what I wish someone told me back then. See, I didn't really understand the whole gold and silver market back then, but $2,800 is really inexpensive, pretty much dirt cheap. Pretty much $2,800 is like buying it back then at $280 20 years ago, right? Because all that's happened is the money's gone, your purchasing power has gone down, right? Your purchasing power has gone away. This hasn't even started to go up yet. It's going to go up. You're going to see it go a lot higher, but the purchasing power went down and down. They confiscated 90% of our purchasing power went away in the last 20 years. Now, you see, things are moving much quicker now. Moving faster. In the next 10 years, they're going to do it again. 90% of your purchasing power is going to go away, right? So when you're getting $4,000, today's money, right? Social Security, it's going to turn into $400 10 years from now in terms of purchasing power. But Mike, that's impossible. Social Security, it's gauged to inflation. It is inflation adjusted each year. Yes, it is. And they're going to give you that 2% when inflation's going to be running closer to 20%. Look at this was 280, now it's 2,800, and soon it's going to be 28,000. That's why I wish someone told me. This is going to be 28,000. It's really hard to buy right now. Look at when I went into the coin shop to buy this for 2,800, I swallowed my pride. That's the most I've ever paid for one. But I know this 2,800 is going to turn into 28,000. Now look at, you want to hold your purchasing power yourself. You do not want to leave it in their system. Leave it in their system, they are going to take it from you. Now, look, there's going to be bail-ins where the government comes and just takes the money, right? I mean, there's going to be bail-ins to bail out the banks. You see, because the FDIC, they don't have the money. They might be able to print the money to give it to you when the bank takes all your money. The banks are not safe right now, and I'm going to go on record here saying that I think there's going to be hundreds of bank failures, probably starting the end of this year. Still, we've had a couple this year, but going into next year, you're going to see them falling over like dominoes. 6 months into next year, you're probably going to be looking at one a week. They're going to be failing. I recommend holding your purchasing power yourself, right? This is my purchasing power, right? And I want to hold that myself because I know the dollar bill is going to go away as we know it. It's going to vanish. It's going to disappear, right? They're going to inflate it away. They have to. They got 36 trillion in debt. We just clicked over to 36 trillion. It's a record high. We did it. U.S. We're 36 trillion. That's nothing. We're going to hit 50 trillion by the time the Donald's out of office. $50 trillion. What's this going to be? It's going to be at least double, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. You do what you got to do right now. A lot of people saying, but Mike, look at Bitcoin. It's going to $1 million. It's already at $100,000. Yeah, it's going up 50% a year. Why would I want to buy this worthless relic when I could have Bitcoin? And if that's your take, I am not going to stop you. I love Bitcoin for gambling. Gambling's great. It goes up 80%, goes down 80%, but I'll take my chances. I'll store my purchasing power in gold and silver. That's just me. You got to do what you got to do. But a lot of people are in that Bitcoin rally right now. Would I be a buyer here? No, no. Could it go to 1 million? Of course it could. It could also go to zero, zero. It can go all the way back to zero. Look at I'm just going to tell you, I love Bitcoin, but I want to just point this out. Look, I love Bitcoin. I've gambled in Bitcoin, up and down, up and down. It's great. Thumbs up, right? But okay, now is it unique, right? Is it unique? Is there more than one blockchain available in the world? Oh, yeah, there's infinite number of blockchains. Could mean you start a coin tomorrow, put it on a blockchain. Yes, that's physically possible to do. There's already 20, 30,000 different coins out there, right? Some of them have already gone away. Some people have already gone to prison. Look at Bitcoin is only going to be, they tell you, only 21 million. I believe them. Only 21 million Bitcoins, but there's 21 million different types of Bitcoin. Now, there's only one type of gold. If there were 21 million different metals in the ground that could do the exact same thing this can do, would I be buying this? No, I wouldn't be buying it, but there's only one gold, and it can only do what it can do. Nothing else can do what it can do. It's gold. It has elements, but a Bitcoin can be done by an infinite number of different coins, can do the exact same thing. Yes, Bitcoin's the granddaddy. I get that. Bitcoin's got the network. I get that. I get all of that, right? Oh, the U.S. government, they're going to adopt it. I get all that. I love Bitcoin. I hope it goes to 1 million. Look, I'm still playing Bitcoin up and down, gambling. But this is where I store my purchasing power. This is where I store my wealth. But when I was younger, I wish someone would just told me, they just tell me, Mike, you could go get the change from the grocery store. You pull out all those silver coins, coin of the realm. Back before 1964, we had money in the money. I could have just taken them and put them in a jar. Let's say I took a quarter and put it in a jar, right? How much would that quarter be worth today? About $6, about 24 times what I could have pulled it out at, right? 24 times. See, I was saving my money, but I was saving it in dollar bills. Dollar bills, they're going to go away. They're going down every day. Every day they print more and more of them, which makes them worth less and less, and pretty soon they're going to vanish into thin air. Look, I don't want my purchasing power in dollars, and I wish somebody told me that. Start saving your money in gold. Start saving your money in silver. That's just my take. That's just what I'm doing. But we got a problem. We got a problem with the retirement people. Retirement people, they don't see what's coming, and it's going to hit them hard. It's going to hit them and smack them across the face. When that $4,000 they're getting loses 90% of its purchasing power 10 years from now, and it only buying $400 worth of stuff, those people are not going to be eating, right? Now, you young people, you got to save. You got to save money and take care of yourself, because Social Security, it ain't going to be when you get up to my age. It's not going to be around. So you start saving, and you don't save in their system. You save outside of the system. You save in gold. You save in silver. That's the real money. That's the money of the Constitution. That's the money of the Bible. A lot of people think like, oh, Mike, you're just hoarding money. Look, the Bible says that gold is good. You can look it up. Genesis 2, verse 10 or 11. Look it up. And then God created it, put it in the Garden of Eden. Why did he put it there? Because it's good. He wanted people to have abundance. Who was in the Garden of Eden at the time? Just Adam and Eve. Just two people. They didn't have any stored, but what gold represented was abundance. God wants his people to be abundant, right? I mean, he says gold is good. It says right in the Bible. That's just my take of it. I'm sure you can find preachers out there tell you you're supposed to stay poor your whole life. I don't buy that stuff, right? Jesus was a rich man, richer beyond belief. And look, I got a little carried away on the religious stuff. I'm a religious guy. I'm a Christian, right? But anyways, gold and silver is what can protect you from what the evil politicians are doing to your money. It is evil what's happening. It's not right, right? I mean, you're taking your purchasing power. They're taking it away. Pension funds, which are retirement, right? Those pension funds, They're investing. They're gambling in derivatives. They're gambling in Bitcoin. They're trying to get their money so that they can pay out 100%. Most pension funds 10 years from now are not even going to be able to pay out 50%. They're going to be down around 20 or 30% if you get any at all. They're just like the banking system. They're not solvent. There's big problems in our country. Yes, we got the Donald in there, but I don't think he can fix it all. This is just my take. I hope he can, right? But look at the pension funds are in trouble. If you get 50%, you're going to be lucky. What do you got to do? Young people, you got to save your money, and you got to save it in real money. It's got to be gold, got to be silver. If you want to take a shot in Bitcoin, go ahead. But no, that doesn't have my blessing. That's for gambling purposes, and I love it for gambling purposes. That's exciting, right? I mean, it was 70,000 3 weeks ago. Now it's 90,000. That's exciting, right? If you had just one of them, you make $20,000, but think it can go the other way too. But it only goes up, Tall Mike. Well, that's actually not true. It's lost 80% over 5 or 6 times. So just be cautious out there. You do you, I'll do me, but you get out there. Have a great day. Give me the thumbs up and hit that subscribe button before you leave. We'll talk again real soon. Bye-bye now.